think I've been talking this whole time and my mic was muted. All right, let's go ahead and start over. Anyway, we had some bad beats last night with the positive EV bets that we made. It looks like I said my mic was muted earlier. Sorry about that. Posted a play on Twitter last night. The Suns and the Pistons under 218. If you're not following him on Twitter, make sure to do so at Randall K Bets. Posted that one. It was a 10-cent difference in the market with strong play, great line. Didn't add it to my bet tracker on here because I didn't post it I didn't bet it on the live stream. But be sure to follow me on Twitter and take advantage of those. I'll try to tweet out a sharp bet of the day. Little out of sorts here. I had my mic muted when I started. Be sure to take advantage of the sportsbook sign-up bonuses that are listed below. In the states that you're in, Caesars, if you're in New York, $3,000 deposit match this weekend. So basically, deposit $3,000, they're going to match it. It's not in the form of a free bet. So if you bet $3,000, they're going to give you that $3,000 bonus cash they're going to give you actual cash for it. So you can use the tools at OddsJam to take advantage of that and turn $3,000 of bonus cash into $3,000 of actual cash. If you don't know how to do that, email me, Randall@oddsjam.com, DM me on Twitter at RandallKBets. So going to get started. Rough start to this live stream by not being unmuted. Not sure how that happened. So we'll hop over here to the plus EV page. We'll take a look here. Actually, let's hop back to the main page first. Let's get our bets graded from last night. As I mentioned, we had we had a couple of bad beats. Canisius led most of the way. We bet that one live. I'm not sure how many of you actually were able to get that in, but it was a loser. They lost a close one down the stretch. Could not score late. Iona -1.5. We beat the closing line, but Iona won by 1 in overtime. So that was a loss. Nashville -1.5 +198. Never a chance. Run out, lost 3-1. So we've updated our bet tracker. You can see we are down $57 since I have been doing this. With positive EV betting, there are going to be highs, there are going to be lows. The key is sticking to it. Again, I mentioned I bet the Golden State game last night on the under, and it was an easy winner, but did not bet it on the live stream, so I'm not going to track it. But my point is, get on this plus EV page, check the bets throughout the day, find bets that have positive expected value, and bet them. So looking through here, we're just kind of scrolling. It's not a lot here per se for me here in Illinois. Do not see anything that really jumps out. DePaul Xavier, 24-cent difference in the market with. Cannot bet that game because I am located in Illinois. Not going to spend a whole lot of time here on this page. We're getting down to the 1% area. So we'll refresh this one more time, see if anything pops up worth betting. Again, not seeing a whole lot. Some first half spreads. We'll go ahead and hop over here to another state. We'll come back to Illinois. Maybe we can place some bets. If not, hopefully I can give you guys some profitable bets here. Alabama LSU under 148.5 on Fox Bet. 23-cent difference here in the market with. Looks like a pretty solid play, 5.3% of expected value. We can click into that game. We can compare it with some of the other books, and we can see what the other books have to see if there's really value here. Fox Bet and the Score are giving you -105 on the under 148.5. You can see here the other books, Barstool -118, BetMGM Borgata -110, Pinnacle, sharpest book in the world, -124, and then Sugar House, Twin Spires, and Unibet, which are all Canby, giving you 118 as well. you can take a look. You can see that the line pretty well across the board seems to be 148. So there is some value here on the under. I'm not sure if there's enough to make it a bet. Again, the plus EV page is not the Bible. It's good to come in here and kind of check these plays out, compare these plays to other sports books to see what they have to say or what their lines are for that particular instance. Citadel and Wofford, we've got a 19-cent difference here as far as market width goes. Citadel plus 13.5. I can tell you Citadel definitely likes to get the ball up and down the floor. They do play at a very fast pace. That can lead to being blown out, but that it can also lead to them staying in some games because they do have the ability to score. Checking ESPN here, just doing a little bit of research, you can see ESPN has this basically Wofford minus 13. So a little bit of value here if you wanted to hit Citadel plus 13.5. You've got about 4.6% expected value in this one. Wyoming, San Jose State, Fox bet under 138 has some value. Wyoming, San Jose State under 138.5, a little bit less expected value, a little bit wider market, not by much. It actually looks just by 1 cent here. So if you wanted to take the 138.5 to get the hook, that might be something that you look for. Continuing to scroll here, trying to find something that I can actually place a bet on that I like, that looks good. I'm currently not seeing anything outside of these lower percentage plays. Don't really want to bet anything super low, 1.8. I mean, 2% is not bad. Not seeing really anything that lines up here. Florida, Mississippi State under 65 in the first half. We'll check that one out. We may throw a bet on that. It looks like the consensus here is 64, pretty well across the board. 64.5 is still juiced to the under. 65 on DraftKings. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and place a bet on this game, I think. So we'll see. We can find Florida. We'll go ahead and place a first half bet here on this under 65.5. If there's one thing we know about Florida, they can struggle to score. So see if we can find this here under 65. Just want to double check that still is in fact the play. Under 65 minus 115. Again, just 2% of expected value here. So betting smaller amounts to hopefully show you we can generate a profit. So we'll throw 15 on that just to get us started here for today. It's a first half total. So it's a market that may not be as efficient as a main line, but continuing to search here, you are going to find value throughout the day if you are refreshing this page and paying attention to the plus EV page. If you do not have this yet, easy auto refresh, Google Chrome extension, you can set that up. It will allow you to refresh your page automatically. And you can, like I said, it'll refresh it automatically. You can just sit here and instead of clicking this button, you can just watch the plays pop up on their own. We'll hop over here to Colorado. I know there's some books out there that some of you have that are not in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. So it looks like Wyoming, San Jose State, Bally Bet, Elite Sportsbook, the under 138.5 in that Wyoming, San Jose State game that we talked about has a little bit of value. Alabama, LSU, under 148.5. Minus 124 plus 101. I'm going to look at this game a little bit. It's not one that I can bet, but just very curious to see what we have. It looks like the consensus line is 148. Still juiced to the under on Pinnacle. It's definitely juiced to the under on the 148.5. I really do kind of like this bet. LSU, Alabama under 148.5. If you can bet that, I would do so. I am not able to. I could bet it, but it would be minus 118 on Barstool, making it not a plus EV play. So going to pass on that one personally. But if you have the books to bet that is definitely something I would look to bet. Just continuing to look here. DePaul Xavier, again, another one, the under 149 with a little bit of value here. Can't bet that being in Illinois. Tampa Bay and the Rams. Let's go ahead and take a look at this NFL game. I wanted to talk about some NFL anyway. So with the Platinum plan, you're able to compare these other sports books, Bet Online, Bookmaker, to kind of see if there's any value. I'm going to show you an example in one of the NFL games this weekend where I think there is some value, or at least there was yesterday. So looking at this, under 50.5, minus 133 on Sports Illustrated. You can see that consensus line is definitely, it's definitely on the under. The main line is 48.5. You can see, again, this is the beauty of the Platinum plan. If I can find it here, you can see Bookmaker. All right. Another very, very sharp book. They have this minus 114. And it's juiced to the under. You can get 50.5 as a plus EV play, minus 133 on Sports Illustrated. So, this is a spot here where I would definitely bet this under if I had the ability to, if I had Sports Illustrated, and could get some value. It's under 130, or it's 135 on MGM. So, there still is a little bit of value on the MGM if you lay 135. But again, showing you Bookmaker has it juiced to the under already at 48.5. Pinnacle does as well, but using Bookmaker to, guide you in making a bet that you may be on the fence about is definitely a great resource of the Platinum plan, outside of the text alerts and the live plus EV plays that show up here once games are underway. So I want to click back into an NFL game. I saw this yesterday, talked to a few customers about the Platinum plan. I showed them this example. You can see here, it's moved a little bit, but yesterday, Bookmaker, well, actually it's still, I guess it's not the big outlier like it was yesterday, but Bookmaker yesterday was giving you plus 120 on the Bills. It was the highest out there. And just by looking at the lines and looking at that, I was really thinking there was a lot of value on Kansas City. You can see it's changed. These markets are always changing as people make bets. The markets change. It's just part of sports betting. So they're offering plus 110 now. You can get minus 123 on the Chiefs over at Bet Online, minus 125 on DraftKings, which is right in line with Pinnacle. If I were going to bet this game yesterday, I was definitely really liking what I was seeing with Bookmaker and what they were offering on the Bills. Much, much higher on the Chiefs. Bookmaker was yesterday. Again, they've come down just a little bit, but I'd be curious to see where this line heads as the week progresses. We can look at a couple other NFL games. I know the games last weekend were absolutely pathetic. Hopefully we get some better games this week. You can compare the point spread as well. So if you're wanting to bet this, you can see where's it at here? Bookmaker, Packers minus 5.5, minus 115. Minus 125 on DraftKings, minus 120 on Fox Bet, minus 113 on Pinnacle. So Packers minus 5.5, maybe not the greatest bet. If you're looking at the market here, and if you're looking at what the other books have to offer, you can see that Bet Online, though, which is another book that is sharp, they're giving you 6, or they have it at 6. So that's interesting as well. You can, again, just kind of use this information to help guide you in placing your bets. Pinnacle, minus 6, minus 102, minus 113 with the -5.5. So it looks like Bookmaker is getting ready to go to 6. You can see all of these other books are definitely in line with the Packers -6. Not sure why Bookmaker hasn't moved to -6. But nonetheless, being able to look at this is very, very important when you are line shopping, when you are trying to get the best of the number, regardless of what sports book you are using. Again, if you do not have all of these sports books in your state, wherever you are, this is a list of all the books that we have available. If it will load here, take advantage of them. Get those sign-up bonuses, boost your bankroll. If you have questions about the sign-up bonuses, email me, DM me. Links are below in this video. Take full advantage of those. Let's see. Last game I guess I didn't look at was Titans-Bengals. So we'll just take a look at that. We'll see if there's any value that sticks out this afternoon. So it looks like Bookmaker -185 on the money line for the Titans. Pinnacle's -188. So pretty well in line there. Caesars -200. You can see Bookmaker only +160 on the Bengals. Pinnacle +167. So, maybe every example is not ideal. Maybe you can't find value in every single play by looking at this. But just the other night in the Rams game, Bookmaker was, I believe, -180 on the Rams. Every other book -160. Rams were definitely the play on the money line. Debated betting that while I was on the live stream. Really wish I would have after the outcome of that game. Always easy to say after the fact. But again, having that ability to compare books, shot for lines. Looks like the under still is a play here in the first half on Florida, Mississippi State. So we will keep that. Continuing to look here, not seeing anything else really. Here is the Magic Sixers under 105 in the first half. Where are we at? Under 105, 16-cent difference in the market width here. Again, a 2% edge. You look at it, -114, -128 on the Pinnacle line. Looking at just some of the other books, DraftKings is -110, 104.5. Caesars has it set at 104, as does FanDuel. Let me take a look at a couple other books here just to see if there's any extra value in wanting to potentially make this a play. Let me hop over here to New Jersey. So 105.5 was the line. For some reason, it's not pulling MGM here. So would like to be able to see some other books here before potentially making that a play. I mean, all of these books here at 105.5 are the same books: Twin Spires, Unibet, Sugar House, as far as the provider goes. FanDuel does have it -146. So definitely some value here, a little bit smaller value as far as expected value goes, with it being 2%. Take a look one more time here. I've got a run here in about 5 or 6 minutes. Looking through, don't really see anything that stands out. And again, the Plus EV page, you're not going to be able to hop on here. It's 2 o'clock almost Eastern. You can see there's not a lot out here as far as value goes. But it comes and goes throughout the day. I mean, the 7% that was just up there is now gone. These lines are constantly moving. Being on this page as much as you can is critical to becoming a profitable sports bettor. Refreshing this page, looks like it's back up here. So again, just monitoring this page throughout the day. Definitely for those of you that are looking to place bets, maybe you've been having some trouble beating the closing line. Try to place those bets a little bit closer to game time. You can see the bet tracker. I talk about this every day. The bet tracker will show you the closing line. It's not going to have anything here for this live bet, but it will show you the closing line. I mean, you can see we are beating the closing line. I mean, 70% of the time, I think it is. But we had a play here yesterday live on the stream. I actually bet Arkansas minus 12. And I told you guys that I wasn't really too high on it because Arkansas was coming off of that win against LSU. They were laying 12 against South Carolina. They ended up covering. I saw they were down at half. I actually did not go back and look at this score until just now. So they did end up covering. They won by 16, but that was a play that we had in here while I was doing the live stream. And because I had my closing line value notifications turned on, I was able to get an email that said, hey, your bet is now worse than the closing line. So do you want to cash out or do you want to let it ride? And I had already said in the live stream, if it went worse, we were going to cash out. So we cashed out on the live stream. You can see it cost us. Arkansas won that game by 16. So solid second half, but they came out very, very flat in the first half, which I definitely expected after beating LSU. But that was one where cashing out did not do us any good. So a lot of people ask, how do I know when to cash out? Maybe I shouldn't have cashed out. I mean, I think the line was minus 109. We had minus 110. So it wasn't a huge deal. But I think if there's player injury news or maybe it would have went to plus 105 from minus 117, minus 120, whatever that original number that I got was, probably worth cashing out. But you just kind of have to use your judgment. Some books will allow you to cash out fully. Some will charge you a little bit. So just be sure to check all of those things out. We'll take a look here at the arbitrage page, FanDuel and Caesars. You can see here over under 7.5 rebounds. I don't have Caesars, but we will see if we can. We're obviously not going to place it, but we'll just see if it's still up. Already way too slow, probably. Jimmy Butler rebounds. Let's see here. Heat. Yeah, it's already moved. So if you're slow, you are not going to win this game. You have to be quick. I was not obviously going to be able to bet this ARB simply because I don't have Caesars. But if you hop on these live streams that Alex is doing in the evenings, he hits an ARB every single day live. He shows you that it can be done. It just takes a little bit of speed. It takes a little bit of patience. As he famously says, money is not going to just appear in your bank account unless, of course, it's payday from your 9-to-5 job or wherever it is that you are working. So that's about it for this live stream. Unfortunately, not a lot here. Modi is going to be going live later, I believe at 8 Eastern tonight. He's going to look for some NBA player prop bets. I guess I could do that really quick here while I've got a second. Let me just do that. We'll go through and run through some player props, see if there's anything that stands out, and then I've got to run. I've got a meeting that I've got to get to. Just taking a look here, seeing if anything stands out, looking for some tighter markets on the player props. With the player props, you're not going to get super tight markets, but if you can get markets that are somewhat tighter than 80-90 cents, might be a little bit more beneficial. Continuing to look here, I mean, Royce O'Neal over under 1.5 threes. Looks like some value here on the under. You've got a 33-cent difference. Oh, I'm sorry. No, actually the value is on the over on FanDuel. 33-cent difference. Let's just take a look and see. We'll look at this one real quick, and then I'm going to hop off of here. So Royce O'Neal over 1.5 threes. So you can see FanDuel is definitely the outlier here. You're looking at all of these other books. Let's go ahead and change states real quick. See if I can find this prop on some other books just to see kind of what's in line. So over 1.5 is minus 103, minus 104 on FanDuel. So actually better value here with Barstool, minus 130 on Caesars, 130 on DraftKings, Fox Bet minus 125, 132 over at Pinnacle, 103 with all of these other books. So a little bit of value there. If you wanted to take Royce O'Neal over under threes, again, another thing you can do, check out Royce O'Neal, check out his stats. So they played the Lakers here this last game. This is not something that you have to do, but it's something that if you want to look into, you can kind of see what he's done. It looks like he made 3 against the Lakers. He had 2 against the Nuggets, 2 against the Cavs, 1 against Detroit, 2 against Indy. So, I mean, he's shooting, 3 or so threes a game. Maybe a little bit of value on Royce O'Neal over under threes there. But later tonight, Modi will definitely go over these player props. He is much more in tune with them. He will probably bet quite a few of them for you if you tune into his live stream here. It'll be on this channel, 8 o'clock Eastern tonight. Be on the lookout for that. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Only able to place the one bet on the Florida Mississippi State under 65 in the first half. So we bet that. We'll see what happens as that game unfolds. Again, follow me on Twitter. I've got it posted below here at Randall K Bets. Email me, randall@oddsjam.com, if you've got any questions. More than happy to answer those for you. Take advantage of the sportsbook sign-up bonuses below. Click those links, get signed up for those books. If you're unsure how to best take advantage of them, again, email me, DM me. Here to help you. We offer a 7-day trial on any of our plans. If you're wanting to try the platinum plan to check out Bookmaker and some of those other books, just shoot me an email. We can set you up with that 30-day risk-free. Pay us the price on the platinum plan. If you're unhappy, we will refund you after the 1 month. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and I will see you tomorrow.